Classroom is a free web service developed by Google for schools that aims to simplify creating, distributing, and grading assignments. The main purpose of Google Classroom is to streamline the process of sharing files between educators and students. Then, how about Google Meet? Google Meet is a video conferencing service from Google. It was originally only available to enterprise customers, but everyone can now use Google Meet for free, including education sector. Google Meet is mainly designed as a way to host video meetings and is available on computer and phone for those who want to join any Google Meet session.
As you can see, there are many advantages of Google Meet. One of it is it can be used as education platform. The reason why I say Google Meet can be used as education platform is because, number one, it has face-to-face function. Due to pandemic of COVID-19, all university, campus, college, and even school are closed. So, Google Meet can be used as a platform to replace the way we usually learn at school. It's actually the same concept, but just at a different places, and we are using an online platform. So teacher can now teach student live, face-to-face, and in Google Meet just like usually when they are at school or university. And it also easier for students to consult the teacher using GM because we can talk and face-to-face directly in live. Hence, Google Meet can be used as education. Easy to share education material is also one of the reasons why GM can be used as education platform. Sometimes, teachers' education materials is inside a computer. So, by using GM, you can just show the material inside a computer by simply using a share screen function, so that all students inside the GM can see it. Not only teachers, students also can show their work or materials for teacher to take a look. Therefore, it really is suitable to use it as an education platform.
Google Meet has a straightforward user interface. This is because you can directly join a meeting as simple as clicking or tapping a link. Google Meet platform is also accessible via web app or a dedicated native app for Mac OS, Microsoft Windows, iOS and iPad, and also Android operating system. When you click a link, you will either open a web browser or an app that will take you to the meeting. Google Meet also has a clean and minimalistic interface. Since Google Meet was created compatible with other Google products or services, it will enhance the user experience of Google Workspace as well as Google Tools and apps. If you want to create a meeting, you only need to generate a link and send the meeting link to participants via messaging apps, email, or more. You can also create an event in Google Calendar and sending out invites to email recipients in the contact list.
As we know, there are many advantages of using Google Meet. However, there are also disadvantages of using Google Meet. Firstly, disadvantages of using Google Meet is share screen sometimes freeze. When utilize the share screen option, quite often the screen is blurry or freeze the Google meeting. We are still able to hear the audio, but video that is being shared is affected. It may interfere with some important meetings if utilizing this platform for important matters. Secondly, disadvantages is previous conversation or message shared in the chat section when missing. This happens when someone left the meeting due to unstable internet connection, and when they rejoin the meeting again, they cannot read the previous chat. This will make them miss some important information that shared in the chat section. Next, disadvantages of using Google Meet is cannot see anybody during the share screen. When you share your screen on Google Meet, you cannot see anybody, you cannot see who you are talking to. If they are listening, you cannot see when they tell you something. And mainly, you feel like you are talking to a computer and not to the pupil.
Google Meet can make the application switches off an audio or remove someone during class discussion consisting of several members. An application does not add back members to the group. For instance, Google Meet lacks of connectivity which restricts large group on its functionality. Frequently, the program stops unexpectedly among participants. A huge number of students are unable to attend a class, which means that just a few members of the members are able to attend. It is also not suggested for usage in large communities according to the limited number of people that can participate. Also, when there are a lot of people on Google Meet during a meet, the video quality might not be the best. Even when participants have such a stable internet connection, the video quality continues to dropping. The video quality of Google Meet should be improved because it is not as good as other similar applications.
Okay, the next advantages of the Google Classroom is getting the update through the email, which is Google Classroom will notify the user every time there is an update in the Google Classroom that have been registered, and the user also will get the email that show that the Google Classroom has been updated. Google Classroom allow the lecturers or teachers to communicate with the student via the email, and it also possible for the student to receive the email summary to keep them informed with the current or the upcoming event.
The advantages of Google Classroom is it easy to use and accessible from all devices. So apart from being delivered through the Chrome browser, which makes it accessible from all computers, mobile phones or tablets, which makes it easy for you to add as many learners as you like. For example, you can create a Google document to manage assignments and announcements, and then you can also post YouTube videos, you can add links or attach the files from Google Drive. So the learners will find it equally easy for them to log in as well as to receive and turn in the assignments.
Next disadvantages of Google Classroom is in Google Classroom there is no conference video call. Even though Google Classroom are efficient for students to use, but the students and lecturers cannot communicate, and they can only communicate using Google Documents. This shows that the learning process are not effective and also cannot be properly discussed among students and might create misunderstandings.
Disadvantages of Google Classroom is difficult learner sharing. Learners cannot share their works with their peers unless they become owners of a document, and even then, they will need to approve sharing options, which will create a chaos if they want to share a document with their large number of classmates.
Okay, next I will show you on how to use Google Meeting. So firstly, if you're already in Google, so what you're going to do is that you just have to click on the right side and you will see the Google App button. So you just have to find the meeting icon, or in other way is that you just have to search in search engine Google Meeting. So this is the official website for the Google Meet. So as you can see here, this is the interface for the Google Meeting. So you can see here, this is the date and this is the time, and you can click the new meeting. So there are three options here. First, to create a meeting for later. Second is start and instant meeting. And lastly is to schedule in a Google Calendar. So if you want to have urgent meeting with your classmate, or you want to create a meeting for your friends, you just have to click the start instant meeting. So you are joining, and you you already in the in-call video. So as you can see here, this is how it looks like, how the Google Meet looks like. So there are few things that you need to know when you are using Google Meeting. So there are few buttons that you need to know the function. So firstly, as you can see on the right bottom here, the activities button. So activities button is actually a whiteboarding. It is a collaborative brainstorm and sketch idea. So in other words, it's just like a visual whiteboard. So if you want to explain a chart, or if you want to draw a figure to make sure that your friends understand better, so you just can use the whiteboard, and you just have to click the new whiteboard. So as you can see here, this is the whiteboard. So you can just click on the pen and you just can draw whatever you want, or you can draw a chart so that your friend can understand your explanation well. Okay, so this is the whiteboard. So next one is that chat with everyone. It is actually a box for in-call message. So in this box, it is actually like a chat box. So if you want to respond to the lecturer, or if you want to say something, if you want to ask question, you just can type here, and everyone can see your question. So yeah, it is very easy to use this chat box. And next is that the people. It is actually to show how many participants that join this meeting, this in-call meeting. So as you can see here, I'm the only one who joined this meeting. So you can add people also by entering their name or email, or you can just simply go to the meeting details and you can copy the link here. So when you copy this meeting link, you can just share with your friends, or you can just share to those who want to join this meeting. So yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4 button. Okay, next is that this is the microphone button. So if you want to say something, or if you want to ask question to the lecturer, you can just on your mic and the lecturer can hear your voice clearly. And next is that this is the camera button. So if you turn on this camera, everyone can see your visual, everyone can see your face. So as you can see here, this is my face. So if you need to explain, or if you need to present something, you can just turn on your camera. And next is that present now. So this present now have two options. First, your entire screen. Second, a window, and lastly is a tab. So basically, basically everyone will choose your entire screen because it is easy. So if you presenting, so now you are presenting your screen. So if you want to show to people, for example, let's say a note or a slideshow, you can just open the slideshow, and yes, everyone can see your slide, and you can just continue to explain and continue to present this to your friends. And if you want to stop, you just can click the stop sharing button. So that's the basic things that you need to know if you want to use Google Meet, or if you want to conduct a meeting in Google Meeting. So that's all. And lastly, for the more option button here, as you can see, there's a lot of things here, such as whiteboard, change the layout, full screen, and change the background. So for the change layout, if there's like 50 participants in this meeting, so you can choose whether you want to auto the layout or you want just to tie the layout, so that you can see everyone's in the screen. So yes, or you can just change the background. So if you open your camera, so you can change your background here for this. For this one, yes, there's a lot of option here, so you can just choose whatever background that you want to use. Okay, that's it. I think that's all for the Google Meet. Thank you. And don't forget to click the leave meeting when you want to leave, and click the leave call button when you want to leave the meeting. So if you click this, you just left the meeting. So if you want to rejoin it, you can just click the rejoin button. And asking for join now. Okay, that's all. And next is that I want to show you on how to use the Google Classroom as a student. So just like Google Meeting, if you're already in Google, so you just have to click on the right side and you can see the Google Apps. So you just have to find the classroom icon. So there you go. Or in other way that you just can type on the search engine Google Classroom. So this is the official website. So you just have to click on it. And there you go. Cool. Okay, so this is the official interface for the Google Classroom. It's very simple for students to use it. So as you can see here, I already enrolled in 3 classes. So these are 3 classes that have been assigned for me in this semester. So if you want to join the class given by a lecturer, or you want to create a Google Classroom for your discussion with your friends, you just have to go to the right side and there is a plus button. So you just can choose whether you want to join the class or you want to create the class. So for today, I will show you on how to join class created by your lecturer or teacher. So you click the join class, and for the class code, you can ask your teacher for the class code and you just have to enter it here. For me, I will enter the class code 55-2-T and click the join button. So you already enrolled in this class. So as you can see, I have enrolled in IMS556 elective E. So this is how it looks like on the Google Classroom. As you can see, there are 3 main functions here: the stream, the classwork, and the people. So as for the stream, it is actually act as a home page for you. So in this page, you can see that your lecturer have been post some new materials or new questions for you to answer. So as you can see here, my lecturer is very consistent in posting new question, new material, and new assignment. Okay, so you can just as you can see here, it's just like a Facebook interface. So you can click on the posting, and you can so as you, for instance, you can see here my lecturer been assigned a question: are you joining your ODL class? So the answer is yes. So you can, it is actually like a class attendance. So next is that classwork. So let's see on the classwork. So you can see here, and you can view your work through this Google Classroom, or you can view it on Google Calendar or Class Drive folder. So for me, I will view it on Google Classroom. So as you can see here, there is a lot of chapter and questions that have been posed by my lecturer, and also assignment here. So as you can see, my lecturer have been constantly post the learning material. So you can just click on which material that you want, and you can view the material, and you can just download the material. So for here, I'm downloading the chapter 9 materials here. You can just download it later. Okay, next is beside that, you can see the assignment given by your lecturer. So for instance, the assignment 2, you can view the assignment. As you can see, this is my lecturer have been assigned me assignment 2, which have 100 points. So if you want to assign to send your assignment, you just have to hand it here. You just have to upload here, and you just submit it. So if you submit here, your lecturer can receive your assignment and can take that you already complete the assignment given. Yeah. Next is people section. For the people section, you can see the teachers or the one who create this Google Classroom. And as you can see here, this is my lecturer, Madam Hazilatiman, and you can see your classmates that been enrolled in this Google Classroom, which have 40 students, and you can see their name and their profile picture. Yeah. So back to stream, you can see here this upcoming box is actually box that show which assignment that you need to submit and which work that you need to do as soon as possible. So as you can see here, there is no assignment that I need to assign because I already signed everything on the date given. So for the missing, there's no missing work appears here, and for done, I already done the submission for the public speaking and the assignment 2 and assignment 1 also. Okay, next is that you can see here there is classes and calendar, and this is the list of classes that I have been enrolled in Google Classroom. As you can see, there are 3 classes. So let's see the other class. So for instance, in these classes, this lecturer also posts a video for the students to ensure that the students have better understanding. So if you want to watch the video, you can just click the play button and you can understand the explanation given by a lecturer. So I think it is very useful for the students to use this, especially especially online classes, because it is very easy and the interface is very user friendly. It is very systematic also, because in this Google Classroom you can post learning material and you can submit your assignment, and you can check your assignment submission, and you can take the attending class attendance. So for me as a student, it is very helpful to make sure that everything that my work is on the track and not missing. So I think that's all from me. Thank you.
To sum up, the online delivery tools emphasize an interactive learning environment designed to stimulate interactions between educators and students and among students themselves. The online process requires both educators and students to take active roles. The educators will often be organizing activities that engage students directly rather than relying heavily on lectures and memorization. Besides, it aims at the mass lecture class, and in particular, those are mostly excluded from face-to-face teaching mode. Finally, it should be noted that the true benefits lie in how the online delivery tools are selected for the class, and if it used appropriately, this could improve communication and collaboration to greatly enhance the overall learning experience.